What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I have the DanForce 1080 lumen headlamp to share with you guys. So let's get right into it, guys. Here's the headlamp itself. I'm going to show you the listing here on Amazon real quick. This is where we picked it up. This is the Pluto color option that they have, and as you can see, there's lots of other color options. And right now, this is on sale for $25. Originally $40, $39.97. But yeah, $25.49 right now. And let me tell you, that is a great deal. So this brand, DanForce, in general, if you read about them on Amazon, it really seems like this brand is determined on making quality lighting products. So I'm just going to go over some of the main features for you guys, and then I'll talk about actual usability of this headlamp and give you my opinion on it. So if we look on the listing here on Amazon about this item, it's designed in the United States. It's got an IPX45 water, dust, and damage resistance rating. Like I said, it's 1080 lumens, and it has 4 light modes: low, high, medium, strobe, and a red light mode, which is also very bright. It has a focus adjustment for adjusting the light beam. It's got a pretty comfortable fit. I'll talk about that a little bit more once I show you the actual headlamp. And then, one of the cool things about this headlamp too is that it's actually rechargeable. So it uses two 18650 rechargeable batteries. It comes with a USB cable, a carry bag, and a carabiner. They also claim that it has a 8-hour battery life on high mode, which is very impressive, honestly. 8 hours on full blast with 1080 lumens. That's pretty impressive. So that's pretty much all of the features, guys. This does work over a hard hat. So it's adjustable. You have a top adjustment. You also have an adjustment on the right side of the headlamp, not on the left side. But that will allow you to make this as big as you need it to go over a hard hat, or if you just have a big head, or if you have a small head, then it will work for all different sizes. One thing though to note, if you are going to put this over a hard hat, it doesn't have any grippy on the inside of the straps, so it does slide around. It'll only be fitted on the hard hat by pressure, and if that's not good enough, then you'll have to come up with some other system to keep that from sliding around. Although on the back here where the battery pack is a rubber piece that will also help it from sliding around on a hard hat or even just on your head. Although this is not that comfortable on the back of your head, because right under this rubber flap, let me show you, just so you can see, this is directly to the back of the headlamp. This is where the batteries are stored, and there's a little flap right here. This keeps it waterproof, so water and dust does not get inside where the batteries go. What's nice is that they have this little attachment here. It doesn't look super strong, but it's nice that they have that so you don't drop this in the dirt or snow or whatever you're doing. You're not gonna have to worry about losing that. So here's where the actual batteries are. I'll show you. So these are not conventional AA or AAA batteries. They're 18650 rechargeable, which is actually pretty nice. Just having this kind of battery allows you to get high output for the high brightness of these LEDs, as well as long battery life. And you can also buy more of these with external chargers and then have a whole bunch of them ready and charged up for uses if you want to go on backpacking trips that are multiple days or even multiple weeks. But like I said, having this design here in the back, I wish they had some more cushion here, because all there is between this and your head is this thin little rubber flap, and to be honest, when you wear it on your head, it's not that comfortable to have this just kind of pressed up against the back of your head. it is bearable, and it's definitely fine for short periods of time, but I wouldn't recommend it if you're hiking at night, going over an hour or 2 hours of wearing this. It's probably going to be pretty uncomfortable unless you have something that you create to add a little bit of extra padding there on the back. If you're wearing a hat or a beanie, something like that would help a lot. So while we're on the back side here, there is a little LED light in the back. So I'll show you real quick. When you turn the headlight on, it turns this light on, and that's just kind of like a safety light. So when you're out in the woods, or if you're riding a bike on the road, or whatever the case is, there's this little indication light on the back that people will be able to see. And as far as I know, you cannot turn that off. So if you're trying to be stealthy, I don't know what to tell you. There's 4 modes. So here's the regular mode, and I'll show you the beam in a darker room so you can see just how bright this is. But I mean, you can kind of tell right here, this room is completely lit up right now, and you can still see the beam quite easily. So that just kind of shows you how bright this thing is. And that's just the main beam there, which you can adjust. So you can spin the tip of this to adjust the beam. I'll kind of show you what that looks like. You can really fine point it in there to get long distances, and then you can widen it up to get a wider field of view. Then if you press the power button, which is right here on top, if you press that again, it takes you to the second mode, which are these 2 lights. It's more of a spotlight, kind of just directs these 2 lights into the middle. And then if you press the button one more time, then you get all 3 of the lights are on, so you get the spotlight in the middle as well as the surrounding light. But you can still adjust it for even more power in a more focused beam. And then the last mode here, if you press the power button, is the strobe mode, which it also gives you a strobe on the back LED. And then if you want to use the red light function, you press and hold the power button, and that turns on the red light, and that comes out of the main beam, so it is also adjustable. And this, for a red light, this is actually quite bright. A lot of times headlamps that have a red light function, the red light is is not nearly as bright as the main beam, and that's the same case with this, but it's honestly still very bright. This is the brightest red light I've ever seen on a headlamp before, by far. So it's a very good red light, and like I said, you can still adjust it, so that's great. Now looking at the design here, since the battery pack is in the back, they have this cable that runs through. It has 2 of these plastic pieces that kind of just keep the cable from flopping around and keep it tucked tight to the band, and that is what powers the actual LEDs up front. This is a pretty big headlamp, guys. It's not like just a regular little camping headlamp that you're going to use to set up camp. This is a pretty serious headlamp, and definitely, like, honestly, the brightest headlamp I've ever seen. So this DanForce brand has an American flag there, just to kind of represent that they are designed in America. And then looking at the front here, where your forehead goes, they did add some padding here. This frame here is just plastic, not the highest quality material. It's kind of thin, but I honestly wouldn't worry. It feels pretty durable. And then it's got some padding on the back. So as far as on the forehead, it's pretty comfortable. I don't have a problem with that. The way that this curves, it fits your forehead well. But then, like I said, it's just this back piece where you really feel those batteries against the back of your head, and it's just not that comfortable. And then you can adjust this right here, so you can adjust the actual angle that the headlamp points. That's almost directly down, and then it goes up pretty far as well. And just the way that this adjusts, it looks like it's got a screw there in the side and some little notches here. So I think you can tighten that screw to make it harder to move around, or looser if you want. But I don't necessarily like this design, how it has these grooves, because it just seems like they'd wear out and then it would loosen up over time. It has a little bit of play within those notches, so there's about that much before it clicks to the next notch. So that's not my favorite, but it is fine and it works great still. And then they give you this nice little bag. It's kind of a cheap bag, but it's nice that they give you something to kind of put it in and keep it together, keep it clean if you want to keep this thing in your vehicle. This headlamp would be great for hiking around at night, cave exploring, and working on vehicles. Like if you're underneath the vehicle and you need to be able to see, or you're just looking down in the engine, this would be great for that. But like I said, you probably won't want to wear this for a super long time unless you're wearing it on a hard hat or over like a beanie. And then there's like this little carabiner on the bag, so you can clip it to a backpack or whatever you want to do. But like I said, you can just throw it in the bag, cinch it up, and add that to wherever you want to keep it. So as far as charging options go with this headlamp, you can charge these batteries externally just by taking them out, and you would have to purchase a external charger for these 18650 batteries, which a lot of times you can get the chargers and an extra set of batteries. So you could go that route, which is probably what I would do. But then there's also an option here. At the bottom of this battery pack, there's a little rubber flap, and underneath it is a micro USB charging port, so you can just charge the batteries from the headlamp itself with the provided cord, which I don't have right now to show you, but it's just a little short, kind of a cheap cord. You can find micro USB chargers everywhere. They're very common and most people already have them. So it's nice that you have both those options to charge this headlamp. As far as overall build quality, guys, for a $25 or even the $40 headlamp, this is a really good deal, especially for the brightness. I don't think you can get a headlamp this bright for that price range. The actual build of the lamp itself right here is aluminum, it seems, and then these side ones are just a tough plastic. Not super duper heavy duty build quality. In general, it's mostly plastic, but there is a little bit of premium materials in here, such as aluminum. This is seriously a really good budget option for a solid headlamp that's going to be super, super bright. And like I said, guys, the main focus of this headlamp is the brightness and the battery life, probably. Just the fact that it's rechargeable and it has these big batteries that are going to last 8 hours on full high power. And the weight of this product is probably, I honestly don't know. It's a little heavy, but it's really not super heavy, to be honest. Like, this front part's not too bad. The heaviest thing is this battery pack in the back, and I'd say overall the whole thing might be like a half a pound. So it's not horrible. Alright, so now I'm going to take this into a darker room and I'll show you what the actual beam looks like to kind of give you a better picture on how bright this thing actually is. Alright guys, we're going to test out the brightness of this headlamp real quick. I'm in a kind of a dark room. It's not super dark. There's a window here with blinds that are closed. So you can see there's still definitely some light, but this will just give you a better idea of how bright this headlamp is. So as you can see, this is the first setting. It's pretty bright. It makes quite the big difference if I just go from there and there in a room that's already kind of lit up. And if I focus the beam That's what it'll look like. We'll go to the next setting. This is the spotlight setting. So still very bright, just a more focused beam. The next setting is both the spotlight and the open beam. So you're getting a lot of light, guys. And then the strobe. And we'll go ahead and turn on the red light. So this red light, seriously, like, it gets me every time because it's so bright. Like I said before, just most headlamps that I've all had, the red lights are just weak and they're very dim. But this is like seriously pretty bright. Well guys, that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more videos. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.